D. Picking and Company of Ohio is in the business of copper. They shape it, mold it into gleaming kettles and other goods using tools and techniques virtually unchanged since the 1850s. As you're about to see, nothing's going to be changing there anytime soon, for good reason. In Bucyrus, Ohio, the old adage, if it's not broke, don't fix it, helps keep a unique workshop buzzing since the 19th century. Nestled just off the town's main drag, in this quaint building, D. Picking and Company has been making copper goods since 1874. The rhythm-like sounds of tapped and hammered copper emanate from inside, thanks to coppersmiths who applied their trade here for generations. D. Picking is particularly known for their copper kettles. Though practical in the food industry, they are also works of art. Well, it must be nice coming into work every day to make family heirlooms.
Yeah, it is interesting. It's nice, yeah.
And do you ever get sick of copper?
Sometimes you get a little tired of looking at the color. Yeah, but
things change slowly at D. Picking, and more than often, that's a good thing.
There's never been a layoff or a shutdown. We've been a continuous for going on 141 years now.
I was reading online about how people come here as a kid and then they come back.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of those people.
And they love the fact that nothing has changed.
Nothing's changed, you know, sometimes not even the employees. So.
Come back after 100 years and not much has changed. Gleaming bolts of copper stand out in a workshop covered with layers of patina. Tools and machinery seemingly better suited for a museum or antique shop are used daily. Even the work tables are spared retirement, heavily worn and smoothed from decades of use. Mementos and markings left here by previous coppersmiths also document the passage of time. Like these Victorian-era pinup photos. Tame to our eyes, but perhaps a little bit racy for the time.
Just everything's kind of the way it was. In fact, I just got a push-button phone not too long ago. I had a rotary dial, and we had 5th graders come through on a tour, and every one of them, they didn't know how to work it. And so they had to put their finger in the dial and turn it around, you know, before they left. But that makes you feel old when they've never seen a dial phone, you know.
The phone is one of the few technological conveniences at D. Picking. Wood stoves are still supplying heat and quite good at keeping everyone toasty. But they require the crew to fire them up at 7:30 a.m. just to get the workshop ready by 9. D. Picking's office has its share of stories too. One curiosity is its enormous safe, pulled on rails by mules to this exact spot. The building was then constructed around it. The company was founded by Daniel Picking, thanks in part to apple butter's popularity in the 19th century, which is made in copper kettles.
Well, it was started in 1874, and they had a hardware store over on Main Street, and then they were getting copper kettles out of Pennsylvania, somehow having problems or whatever, so they decided that they would hire some of the coppersmiths from Pennsylvania to come here and teach their tinsmiths how to make copper kettles.
Daniel's great-granddaughter, Helen Picking Neff, is still currently in charge, at 99 years young.
Yes, she's 99. She comes down to the office usually in the afternoon. She comes in and she says, "What can I do?"
She's a chip off the old block, for her father, Robert Picking, ran the company until the day he died at age 103. His presence is still felt here in the form of elephants.
And he always loved elephants. So he went out and I'm sure paid a trainer to teach him to ride an elephant and to do all these tricks. So whenever there was a small circus around, he would take the day off and go ride in the circus specs.
Besides being great decorative pieces for the home, D-Picking's products are used for a number of purposes all over the world. While we were there, Steve was putting the final touches on this timpani drum bass. Hours of precision hammering is required to get a consistent thickness throughout, giving the drum the perfect tone. This type of work is challenging, and customers know it, for this drum is going all the way to a customer in Sweden. But personal cookware will always be D-Picking's specialty. And copper's ability to distribute heat evenly makes it a good fit with the candy industry. Russell Stovers and See's Candies are among their customers.
And what are some unusual things you've heard them used for?
We made one for a witch once. She used it for a cauldron, you know, for
Makes sense.
making her witch's brew. But you know,
Hey, as long as they're paying, right?
I don't care what they do with it as long as they pay.
Stick newspapers or flowers
Yeah,
into it's fine.
there's a lot of those.
The process of making a D-Picking copper kettle has changed little over the years. Copper comes to the workshop in rolled sheets. It is cut from patterns, then assembled into a rough shape. A brass and borax mixture is dripped into the seams and is heated to begin a weld. More heat is applied, some 1800 degrees at times, sealing the seams while changing the shape and structure of the copper piece. A dip in an acid bath to remove the tarnish, and the piece is ready for shaping. It is then hammered, or as they call it, planished. This is what really sets D-Picking apart from other coppersmiths. They are the only ones in America still hammering the copper by hand. The extra effort is worth it, brightening and hardening the copper like no machine can. A steel rod is bent and shaped for the kettle's rim, then carefully coaxed into the lip. Each has to be custom fitted because no two kettles are alike. A buff and polish adds the finishing touches. D-Picking's products are so durable, it's not unusual for the next generation of workers or thereafter to see their handiwork.
I love how you can see every little hammered mark here.
At least thousands of them on it.
You can't feel a seam at all right here. I mean, even when I run my pinky, there's nothing. It's completely smooth.
Yeah.
I can see it. About how many hours is in this?
In that one, we probably have about 6 to 8 hours.
Well, considering that it's going to last well after we're gone,
Yes.
that's not too bad.
With all the labor involved and the inevitability of modern technology pushing the old way out, D-Picking and Company still continues on its own terms.
Just the fact that you can keep it going, I guess. It's more than the paycheck. You know, in today's world, we've got everything coming in from China, all American-made company, and we're still doing it the way it was always done. So.
Now, if you'd like your own D-Picking kettle, fear not. Though they come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, the company is able to ship them quite easily across the country. Also, tours are by appointment only, so call ahead.